All right. Well, what do you say we get started? Well, if I missed anyone saying good morning, let me greet everyone and say welcome. Thanks for making your way to our Thursday morning 30-minute yoga class, and great to see you all. Let's begin. Find a cross-legged position on your mat or some other seated position if you prefer. Let your eyes close down, and then begin to follow your breath as it flows in and as it flows out. Imagine the breath rising as you breathe in and then falling back down towards your mat as you breathe out. Breathing in, the breath rises, and breathing out, the breath falls. Just a couple more times, just to become present on your mat, following the breath as it rises on the inhale and then falls on the exhale. Twice more. Breathing in deeply and then letting the breath fall. And one more time through. Good. You can let it go now. You can bring your hands to your knees, palms facing down. Sit up nice and tall, and then look off to your left, and then to the right, and to the left, and to the right. Bring the chin back to center, and then lift it up. Look up towards the sky, and then bring your chin towards your chest. And then inhale, lift the chin again, and exhale, and bring the chin down. Bring your left ear towards your left shoulder. Keep the shoulders level. And then chin to the chest, and right ear towards right shoulder, and then lift the chin high. Left ear towards left shoulder, chin to chest, right ear towards right shoulder, and then lift the chin high. Let's go around one more time. Chin to chest, right ear, right shoulder. Now lift the chin high and then level the chin. Now take a gentle twist to your left and back to center and then over to the right and back to center and to the left and back to center and over to the right. Now reach your arms up and overhead, interlace the fingers, invert the palms, stretch the palms up towards the sky, press down on the sitting bones. Take a very gentle bend to your right, and then back to center and a very gentle bend to the left. And back to center and bend to the right. And back to center and bend to the left. Now let's just circle the arms in the or in the shoulder sockets. Go around a couple times one way and then back the other. I can feel a little bit of crunchiness in my shoulders as I do that. Then reach the arms out with the palms facing up, bend the elbows, tap the top of the shoulders with your hands or fingers, and do that a couple of times, just noticing the range of motion in the elbows. It's almost 180 degrees, it's that range of motion in the elbows. Reach the hands out now, make gentle fists, and just roll the hands around in the wrists, a couple times one way, then a couple times back the other way. Then when you're done, my favorite part, just move the fingers around a little bit, just dancing with the fingers. And then you can release the hands down. Let's find range of motion with the legs. You can come back to a reclining position on the elbows like this if you want. Now bend your left knee and bring the knee in towards the chest, and then across the body over to the right. And then straighten the leg, and then off to the left. And the knee bends, comes back to the chest. We're going to go around 3 times, just one direction. And then come back to center, knee comes towards chest, and then straighten the left leg, and bend it, and straighten, and bend, and one more time, straighten. And now just rotate the foot at the ankle joint, a couple times one way, a couple times back the other, and then you can release that left foot down. Now bend the right knee, bring it in towards the chest, across the body, over to the left side, and then straighten that right leg. So the knee is moving away from you. Now bend the knee off to the right and bring it to the chest. We're going to go around 3 times, just making circles with the knee. And one more time. That may have been 4. Now bend the right knee, bring it towards your chest. Straighten the right leg and bend. Let the foot drop down and straighten and bend. And one more time, straighten. And now let's rotate the foot at the ankle joint. And you can bring the right foot down. Come back to a cross-legged position. And then let's roll over the knees and come to table pose. Check in with your alignment and table, making sure that the hands are right below the shoulders and the knees are more or less right below the hips. Now press into that right hand, reach the left hand up, but keep looking down at your right hand. And then bring that left hand under and then tap the right shoulder with your left hand. Then press into the right hand and reach up with the left hand. And we'll do that again. Tap the shoulder under the body and reach back up. And one more time on this side, under the body with that left hand, tap the right shoulder and reach back up and then bring the left hand down. Other side, press in the left hand, reach the right hand high, keep looking at that left hand. Now under the body with the right hand, tap the left shoulder, then press in the left hand and reach back up. Twice more. Under the body, tap the shoulder, press into the left hand, reach high, and last one. Under the body, tap and reach back up, and then bring that right hand down so it meets the left hand. Now let's move into cow pose. Drop the belly, lift your chin, reach the tailbone away from the knees. Then as you exhale, cat pose. Press the hands into the mat. Chin comes towards chest, middle of the back reaching towards the sky. Do that again. Drop the belly, lift the chin, and exhale into cat. And 3 more times. Dropping the belly, lifting the chin into cow pose. And exhaling to cat. And twice more. Belly drops down, chin lifts up. And exhale to cat. Last one. Belly drops down, lift the chin. And exhale into cat pose. Now come back to a neutral spine. Then press your hips to the right. And then to the left. And press them over to the right again. And to the left. Once more to the right. Keep both hands on the mat. And to the left. Then bring your hips back to center and step your left foot forward so it comes between the hands. The toes on that right foot aren't tucked. Now keep the hands or the fingertips on the mat and press that left knee forward a little bit more. And then see if you can lift your chest up a little bit and lift the head up a little bit. And notice the stretch that that creates. You may feel that in several places in the body. Now tuck the toes and bring your left knee off the mat so that left leg is straight and you're pressing back. I said left, I meant right. So bring your right knee off the mat. Press back on the right heel. Now straighten the left leg. Press the left hip back. Pull the right hip forward. Reach your head forward. And then let's come back to where we started, bending the left knee. Keep the right knee off the mat. And do that again. Straighten the left leg. Press the left hip back. Pull the right hip forward. And the last one, bend the left knee. And then bring the right knee to the mat. Step the left knee back so it meets the right knee. We're back to table pose now. Drop the belly and lift the chin. And exhale into cat pose. And again, drop the belly, lift the chin into cow pose. And exhale into cat pose. Back to a neutral spine in table pose. And step your right foot forward so the right foot ends up between the hands. Come up on fingertips. Now tuck the toes and bring the left knee off the mat. The left leg is straight. Now straighten the right leg, reach the head forward. You feel that stretch, most of you probably in the back of that right leg. Pull the right hip back a little bit more, deepening the sensation, and then bend the right knee. And again, straighten the right leg, Pull that right hip back, reach the head forward, and then bend the right knee. Last time, straighten the right leg, and then bend the right knee, bring the left knee to the mat, untuck the toes, and step that right foot back, or the right knee back so it meets the left knee. We've come back to table pose. Now let the hips drop towards the heels. Keep your knees right where they were. They don't need to come apart. Glide back to table pose, move through table pose, and then drop your hips down, lift your chin, press the heart and the navel forward into a nice deep back bend, and then come back to table pose and back towards our child's pose with the hips moving to the heels. Glide forward through table into our back bend. This is a knees down, upward facing dog. And last one this way, press back towards child's pose, then move through table pose, drop the hips forward and down. See if you can bring the shoulder blades a little bit closer together on the back. And now tuck your toes and lift your hips. Let's find downward facing dog. What I'd like you to do now is pedal it out. So bend one knee quite a bit so that the heel comes off the mat, and then straighten that leg and bend the other one. And just continue pedaling it out. It's important here to keep pressing the hands into the mat and reach your tailbone up and back so that you keep length in the spine. And continue to press that out. And maybe one more time on each side. And then find stillness in downward dog. And then slowly begin to walk the feet forward to the hands. Once you're there, find a standing forward fold near the front of the mat. Let your head drop down and get heavy. Now keep your chin on your chest and round your spine. Draw your navel in as you rise, and then let your arms float up and overhead. And then bring the hands to heart center, pressing the palms together. Take a breath. Just pause. Feel your whole body. Notice the sensations. Now on an inhale, reach the arms up and back. Find a little bit of a back bend, and then exhale, fold forward. Come to a half lift. Spine lengthens, weight comes into the front of the feet. Now a little bend in the knees as you fold forward, hinging at the hips, letting your head drop down and get really heavy again. Press into the front of the feet now and rise, reach up high. Bring the palms together and then down to heart center. Let's do that again. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to a half lift. Spine lengthens. Exhale, let the head drop down. Press into the front of the feet and rise, reach up high. And exhale the hands, bringing them to heart center. Let's keep it going. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, let your head drop down. Now press into the front of the feet and rise. Feel the core engage as you reach up high. And then exhale the hands, bringing them to heart center. Let's do one more time. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, let your head drop down. The knees can bend a little here if you want to. So you can bring the weight into the front of the feet a little bit more. Now the core engages as you rise, reach up high. And exhale the hands to heart center. Good work, everybody. Take a deep breath. And one more. Now leave the hands at heart center as you hinge at the hips and slowly begin to fold forward. Now bring the hands all the way down to the mat. Leave the right foot forward and step the left foot back into runner's lunge. Press back on the left heel. The right knee is bent about 90 degrees. Leave your left hand on the mat and reach the right hand high into a lunge twist. Stay with it. Good. Now bring the right hand down outside that right foot. So we're framing the right foot with the hands. Bring the left knee to the mat and untuck the toes on the left foot. Now press into the right foot and rise into a low crescent lunge, reaching up with the wrists. Relax the fingers. Remember, we don't need a lot of energy in the fingertips, but press that right knee forward a little bit more. Now bring your arms out to a T. Reach the hands apart from one another Take your twist to the right. Bring the left elbow to the right knee. Join your palms together into our prayer twist. 2 breaths in the prayer twist. Keep pressing that right knee forward. 1 more breath. Now keep the palms together. Engage the core as you rise, coming back to center. Reach up high. Now bring the hands behind you. Interlace your fingers behind your back. See if you can let the skin of the palms touch one another. And then reach the knuckles towards that left heel, bringing the shoulder blades deeply together on the back. Take a breath. Notice the expansiveness of the chest. Breathe into that space, and then release the hands, reach them high, and then bring them down on either side of that right foot. Now tuck the toes, bring the left knee off the mat. Step the right foot back into plank pose. We're going to be here 3 breaths. Press the mat away from you with both hands. Remember, your fingers are spread nice and wide, creating a beautiful foundation for the pose. 1 more breath. After the exhale, bring the knees to the mat. Chest and chin are going to follow, bringing yourself into Cobra Pose. 2 breaths in Cobra. Press the heart forward, top of the head rising, and release. Now tuck your toes, stiffen your body, push to plank, then lift your hips into downward facing dog. Stretch it out here, pressing the heels down towards the mat, noticing sensation for most of you in the back of the legs and the calves probably. On an inhale, reach the left leg up, and then step the left foot forward so it comes between the hands. Now the right knee comes to the mat. Press into the left foot and rise into a low crescent lunge on our second side. Keep reaching up through the wrists, lots of extension in the upper body. Now the arms come out to a T. Take your twist to the left, right elbow to left knee, join the palms, reach the left elbow high. 2 breaths here, just like we did on the other side. And 1 more. Keep pressing that left knee forward. Now keep the palms together as you come back to center. Reach up high and bring the hands behind you. Interlace the fingers. You can interlace the fingers in the awkward way this time, using the non-dominant grip. Hi, Jack. Jack has joined us for practice today. He doesn't know what we're doing. Keep reaching the knuckles towards that right heel. Feel the shoulder blades come more deeply together on the back. And then release. Reach up high. And then exhale the hands down on either side of that left foot. Tuck the toes and bring the right knee off the mat. Now step the left foot back to plank pose, and let's find our 3 breaths in plank. Feel the whole body engaged in this pose. Nearly every muscle in your body is engaged. 1 more breath. Now knees to the mat, chest and chin follow. Come into Cobra Pose. Bhujangasana is the name of the pose in Sanskrit. Press the pubic bone down. Elbows are bent. Head is rising. 1 more breath. Release. Now tuck your toes, push to plank, and lift your hips into downward facing dog. We're going to find 5 breaths now in downward dog, pressing the hands into the mat, reaching the tailbone up and back. Big, big stretch along the whole back body, all the way from the heels up the back of the legs to the tailbone, and then from the tailbone up to the lower back, the middle back, and the upper part of the back, even into the palms. Now either bend the knees and hop, or walk forward to a standing forward fold. Once you're there, bring your arms out to a T. Press into the front of the feet as you rise. Keep the spine long. Let your arms float up and overhead. Bring the palms together and look up. And then exhale the hands to heart center. Take a couple of breaths. Just gather yourself. And 1 more breath. You're doing great. Now hinge at the hips and begin to fold forward. Come to a half lift. Now keep the right foot forward, step the left foot all the way back, into a runner's lunge. And then step the right foot back to meet it into plank pose. Now flow through a vinyasa, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, upward facing dog. And then on the exhale, downward facing dog. On an inhale, reach the right leg high and then open the hips to the right. Work on stacking the right hip over the left hip. This is three-legged dog. Now level the hips off and then step the right foot forward so it comes between the hands. Spin the left heel to the mat and rise to warrior two. And I'm going to turn to the other side of the mat so that you can see me. Bend that right knee a little bit more. Remember to relax the wrists, relax the shoulders, relax the hands. Extended side angle now. Elbow to knee, reach with the left hand. Press into the pinky toe of that left foot. One more breath. Rise back to warrior two. Then straighten the right leg. Left hand comes down, reverse triangle pose. Press into the right foot. Reach the right hand up and back. Really stretch it out. Now the arms come out to a T. Press in the left foot this time. Bring the right hand down, triangle pose. Two more breaths in triangle pose. Working towards a place where the spine is parallel to the mat. Maybe you're not quite there yet. Maybe you are. The gaze can be forward or down or up. Now core strength. Keep that right leg straight as you rise. Once you come all the way up, bend the right knee back to warrior two. Now cartwheel the hands down on either side of the right foot. Come up onto the ball of the left foot. Step that right foot back to plank pose and immediately flow through a vinyasa. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga into upward facing dog. One breath there, and then exhale into downward facing dog. Two breaths in downward dog. On an inhale, reach the left leg up. And three-legged dog on this side, stacking the left hip over the right. Relax that left foot. Level your hips now. And then step the left foot forward so it comes between the hands. Leave the right hand on the mat. Reach the left hand high into a lunge twist. And then bring the left hand down. Spin the right heel to the mat. I'm going to move over to the other side of my mat. And rise to warrior two on our second side. You knew we were going there, right? Bend the left knee pressing straight forward, not off to the side. So you can bend the left knee a little bit more. Remember, relax your wrists and the rest of the upper body. Now extended side angle. Bring the elbow to the knee. Reach with the right hand. Rise back to warrior two. The left knee is still nice and bent and pressing forward. Now straighten the left leg. Drop the right hand down. Reverse triangle pose. Press into the left foot. And then the arms come out to a T. Now press into the right foot. Triangle pose. Left hand comes down towards the mat, or the shin, or the foot, or the knee. Think about lengthening the spine. One more breath. You're doing great. Now core strength. Keep that left leg straight and rise. And then bend the left knee. Press that left knee forward just a little bit more if you can. Now cartwheel the hands down on either side of the left foot. Come up onto the ball of the right foot. Step the left foot back to plank pose. Now flow through our final vinyasa of the practice. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Either one is fine. Take a breath now. And then lift your hips into downward facing dog. Stretch it out. Now bend the knees, maybe even a little bit more, and take your hop so the feet end up between the hands. Let your head drop down. Bring the arms out to a T, press into the front of the feet and rise. Reach up high, look up and bring the palms together. And then pull the hands down to heart center. Take a breath. Bring the feet so they're about hip width apart, and then bend the knees. Into a chair pose with the hands at heart center, feet parallel to one another. One more breath. Now bend the knees a little bit more, and a little bit more, and a little more, and then come all the way down to a seat, bringing the hands behind you if you need to break your fall. Now bring the hands behind the knees, lift the feet up off the mat, and let's come to a supported half boat pose. Bring your shoulder blades together on the back a little bit so the shoulders come back and down. You can straighten the legs now, keeping the support if you want. Keep the spine nice and long. Release the hands now into a full boat pose if you want to. Now bend the knees, take a hold of the big toes with your peace fingers, and then straighten both legs if you can, pressing the toes away from you, coming into heron pose. Nice little balancing pose here. 2 more breaths. Just breathe into the balance. Now bring your feet apart from one another, coming into a floating splits. Press through the heels in the splits. The spine is nice and long, chest is rising. Draw the navel in. Now bring the soles of the feet together and cup your hands on the outside of the feet, the pinky toe side. And then see if you can let your heels float down towards your pubic bone. Keep the spine long. Notice I was rounding a little bit, kind of hunching. What I want to do is pull my shoulders back, let the chest rise. So lots of length in the spine. And release down. And then come to a cross-legged position. Any cross-legged position is fine. An option here, if you want, is lotus pose. And I know not all of you are able to get into lotus pose, but if you can go ahead and do that now. Take a deep breath. Let your spine get long. Feel the sitting bones resting on the mat. And on your exhale, twist to the right side, looking over, or sorry, to the left side, looking over the left shoulder. So the left hand is down behind you. The right hand has come to the left knee. Breathe in deeply, and on the exhale, find a deeper twist if you can. Do that one more time. And let it go. Come back to center and over to the other side. Breathe in deeply and exhale and find your twist. And again, deep breath in and exhale and just surrender into the deep twist. Let it come back to center now. Now cross your legs the other way. So whichever foot you had on top before, the other foot will be on top this time. Breathe in deeply. Again, the spine lengthens. Exhale and twist to the right. 2 more breaths here. Inhaling to lengthen the spine and exhaling into the twist. 1 more breath. Beautiful. Let it go and over to the other side. 2 more breaths here. Remember, breathing in to lengthen. And then on the exhale, just surrender, soften into the twist. Last breath. And release. Back to center. Now uncross the legs and roll down to your back. Once you're on your back, press the palms into the mat, reach the heels to the sky, legs up the wall pose. Once you're there, press your sacrum down into the mat and press the soles of the feet towards the sky. 2 more breaths in legs up the wall pose. And 1 more. Now bend the knees and bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Prepare for bridge pose. So walk the feet back towards your hands until you can brush your fingertips on your heels. The feet are about hip width apart here. And bring weight into the balls of the feet as well as the heels. Now press the feet into the mat and lift your hips into a nice deep bridge pose, lifting the hips as high as you can. And bring the shoulder blades together on the back. That facilitates the back bend. Let's find 2 more breaths in our bridge pose. And 1 more. Release from bridge. Once your tailbone lands, hug the knees into the body. Keep the head on the mat. And now pull your tailbone down towards the mat. And let the back of your shoulders soften down as well. Now bring the soles of the feet together and bring your heels near your pubic bone so the knees have moved apart. We've come into Supta Baddha Konasana, an inverted cobbler pose. And what I'd like for you to do is to press the pinky toe side of the feet into the mat and lift your hips just a little bit off the mat. Keep pressing the soles of the feet together as you do that. And then release. Let your tailbone come down, let your knees come back together, and then pick your feet up off the mat. Arms come out to a T with the palms facing down. Bring your knees so they're right over the hips. Then knees float to the left and back to center and to the right and back to center and to the left and back to center and to the right. One more time on each side. Over to the left. Notice a little massage in the low back and to the right and then back to center. Now hug the knees into your body. Bring your forehead towards your knees. And then rock forward and back a couple of times. And eventually, rock yourself to a seat. Once you're seated, bring your hands to your knees, palms facing down. Bring your awareness back to your sitting bones and notice your sitting bones resting on your mat. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, let your shoulders come back and down. Sitting up even taller, feeling the chest rise. Chin is nice and level. Now take a deep breath in, as deep as you can, maybe drawing the breath in for 6, 7, even 8 seconds. And then for the exhale, open your mouth really wide and just let the breath flow out. Let's do that one more time. Draw a deep breath in. Feel the body filling with breath. And an open mouth exhale, letting everything go. Bring your hands to heart center if you like, and join me in offering loving kindness. May you be happy and well and safe, and may you be peaceful and at ease. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining in this practice this morning. Everybody have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you again soon, perhaps on Saturday. Take care.